often surprised by how many kids can answer that question or have some idea, like mountains, snow, like it's something to do with that. So sort of reasoning through, okay, so what is a glacier? We also have some lovely pictures that we bring with us, just kind of examples. And the idea is a lot of these pictures are showing that ice is actually flowing. So sort of there's this question of like, okay, we thought ice was solid, but we have all these pictures. It looks like it's flowing. So actually it turns out when you have a big chunk of ice, perhaps on a mountain or in a giant ice sheet, it actually flows. Very slowly, but it flows. So to demonstrate this, we have Glacier Goo. So it'll come to you in a bag like this, and it's not too messy, it's pretty well contained, but I'll just take a chunk of this out. And so kids get pretty excited. I guess we can maybe put this up here. So oftentimes we'll have a couple of these and we can demonstrate like different slopes. But the idea is we have some mountain which has a slope and a glacier goes on the top, and we'll start out some sort of a race, maybe between like a steep slope and a less steep slope. So we have ice, and this is like a sped up version obviously of glaciers. So one exciting thing that you can point out as this is happening, we have a bunch of straws that you can use. So we can put our straws, if you can do it really quickly, this is actually moving quickly, but if you put them all sort of in a horizontal line like that, and you sort of see what happens, and the first thing that they all notice is like, oh, the straws are tipping forward. It's like, okay, so why could that be? And sort of reasoning through what's happening, like what parts of the glacier or the Glacier Goo are moving faster than other parts. Like, oh, maybe the top is moving faster than the bottom. The other thing that you will start to see after some time passes is that the straws in the middle end up moving faster than the straws on the edge. So you end up with sort of an arc. And so then you can reason through with them, okay, well, why is that happening? Why, okay, so the glacier is moving fastest in the middle. Why? The glacier on the side is, friction stuck to the side, and so it's actually moving more slowly. So just ways to get them to think about, okay, glaciers are moving, and how are they interacting with the rock or the mountain around them. So that's pretty much what is talked about in sort of a science night situation. Also, we've been collecting a dirty bag of Glacier Goo, so because obviously this looks really fun, they want to touch it and play with it. So this is basically you can have this out and they can just like play with it in their hands because that's what they want to do. That's what I want to do when I'm standing there in front of doing the Glacier Goo. For a classroom visit, this can be a little bit more formal, depending on the classroom that you have and sort of the setup and the age of the kids. We do have a PowerPoint presentation that can go along with this, so you can sort of introduce all of this first with that and go through, what is a glacier, different pictures of glaciers, etc. And then you can set up sort of a more formal demonstration with, a couple of these mountains. You can also, so you can do experiments with like the slope of the mountain. You can do experiments with, we also have some sandpaper, so you can line your mountain with sandpaper and have experiments with different sorts of beds. You can also bring in water and see what happens if you were to pour water into the base of your glacier. Yeah, there are a number of different experiments that you can do, and in general, kids are excited because Glacier Goo looks really fun. Yeah.
Sometimes we had like a ruler and like a stopwatch, so like if you're doing a race, you can actually measure how fast or how far the glacier has moved in a certain amount of time, and then compare it to the one with the steeper slope, and that's something good to do in a classroom setting that you can't do at a science night.
Yeah. At a science night, a lot of times we'll have, two of these set up, one steeper than the other, so kids can come up at any point and we can say, hey, we started this glacier race, 10 minutes ago. Which one is winning and why? So that's another way you can do it if, it's people are kind of coming and going.
I also like letting the kids put the straws in. It makes it more of like them being the scientist. And so I tell them to put it in a horizontal line, but I let them do it it themselves because that gets them like a little bit more getting their hands into it.